Hey, what's up guys, Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be an update to the best deck I have ever created, Mokey Mokey. This deck is now perfected. This is even better than the last time, which is saying something, considering that I invoked Shadal with my last variant. This variant is 1,000 times better, and I mean it's insane. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. I've definitely added some more stuff, such as Treasure Panda, Shining Angel, and a few more stall cards just to make the deck a bit more seamless in its control aspect, while still being able to turbo out 3 Mokey Mokeys. So starting things off, of course, mandatory 3 copies of Mokey Mokey. Now, in playtesting, a lot of people were just trashing on me by banishing all 3 of my Mokey Mokeys just for fun. Like, I don't know how they did it, but like almost every game I played with this deck, they tried to banish 3 Mokey Mokeys. And half the time they ended up succeeding. But the fact is that this deck has an awesome OTK and control style where you can easily turbo out 3 of these cards with cards like Painful Decision, Unexpected Die, Draconette, and even Shining Angel. So, like, it's just super easy to get 3 of these on the field, and after you get the 3 on the field, there are so many things you could do with them. You could link them off to go into Nightmare Unicorn. Then, if you have another monster on the field, you can use them to go into an access code, then use Try White to summon all 3 back, then go for an easy OTK right there. But this card is just so versatile, so insane, and I still have no idea what he's thinking. I played 2 copies of Treasure Panda. This card is super good for this deck, and I mean super good. You can banish up to 3 spell cards and then special summon a normal monster from your deck whose level is equal to the banished card's level, blah blah blah. That's freaking insane. This card can, on its own, can summon 3 Mokey Mokeys. How powerful is that? Like, this card in your hand plus a bunch of spell cards, boom, you win the duel. Like, let's say you use Extravagance, Painful Decision, you can use a lot of spells and traps. Plus, this is great for later game when you haven't gotten your Mokey Mokeys out, because you have enough stall cards to wait until you get your Mokey Mokeys. So it's pretty easy just to use this to its full advantage. I played 2 copies of Draconette. This card is still insane for the deck. It can special summon the Mokey Mokeys for free. It's great for starting out your Link plays, despite the fact that it's not what it really is used for in the deck. It's great for setting up cards like Phoenix, Cerberus for some removal, just in case your opponent just has too much on the field. 2 copies of Shining Angel. Now, I played 2 copies of all the non-Mokey Mokey monsters because you don't want to draw into all of them at once, because they're all your normal summons in the deck. So, like, Treasure Panda, Draconette, and Shining Angel are all your main normal summons in the deck, so, like, you have to be careful when you're doing it. I play 2 copies of Spell Striker. Now, I was playing Sparks while I was playtesting, but this card's just way better. Shout out to Pillow King. He was the one who gave me the idea for this card. It's actually really good. So one big issue I came across in playtesting was that, like, against like Eldritch and stuff, they could stall out enough, but I would be able to get them down to like their last 400 or 500 life points. Spell Striker helps cover up that that issue, so this card can just attack directly for free, and it can special summon itself, so that way it doesn't need my normal summon, and it's able to clear up that last little bit of life points that my opponent has, while still being able to be very versatile, set up negates, whatnot. I played 3 copies of Ash. This card's just really good. A lot of the times, like, sometimes you'll end up normal summoning it for Link plays, but all in all, it's just really good generically. Just to slow down your opponent and stuff, because like a lot of decks, like if you ash their starter cards, they lose. I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn. This card's just so clutch. Like, if your Mokey Mokeys get off the field, you have 2 cards in Monster Reborn and Try White, which Try White is just insane. But I'll explain it later. So, Monster Reborn, really good, can get back your normal summons and can get back your Mokey Mokey. So, yeah. I played 2 copies of Mystic Mine. 2 copies is way better than 3 in this deck, because the thing is that it's not exactly the best card to be using, because this deck can summon a lot. Like, I mean a lot. Like, once I summoned, I think, 12 times in a turn while going through a Mokey Mokey combo to get to an access code and 3 Mokey Mokeys. But, like, this card is really good for if you're in a slow patch. Like, sure, Virtual World and Eldritch have outs to this, but like, you can really easily stop them from doing anything with this card, and it's pretty good. So this card will be better in later formats, but right now it's just kind of meh. It's really good for stalling, but not very good at this very moment. I play 3 copies of Painful Decision. This card's a really easy way to search out your Mokey Mokey, and is just really insane. Plus, one big thing is that this is a way to get cards into the graveyard. Now, that might not seem like something super big, but the thing is that Tri-White is your best card in the entire deck, just because of the of how versatile it is and how easy it is to get out 3 Mokey Mokeys with it. So, like, just getting them into the graveyard can set up some huge plays with Painful Decision. I played 3 copies of Mokey Mokey Smackdown. You have no way of searching this card, so you need to play 3 copies of it. It's really, really good, but, like, you could play stuff like Left Arm Offering, but, like, it's just so much of a cost. But, like, still, this card's just really, really good, and I would suggest playing it at 3 copies. I played 3 copies of Unexpected Die. This card's a free special summon for a Mokey Mokey from the deck. It's insane. It's a great play starter. I played 2 copies of Tri-White. Now, I've been alluding to this the entire video. This is the best card in the entire deck. This deck burns through resources really easily. So, like, you can go through a lot of spells and a lot of monsters in a single turn, just going through your Mokey Mokey combos. So that means you can easily get 3 Mokey Mokeys in the graveyard. And that actually sets up some insane plays, because you have monsters like Link Spider and Link Karibo, so you can get them off the field and then use them for Link plays that need effect monsters. So that's actually really, really good. So this card is just clutch, but you don't want to play it at 3 because it does require a lot of setup. But this is the best card in the entire deck, like, period. This card's just so freaking insane. I play 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. I was thinking about cutting this for Pot of Prosperity, just because it can dig a little bit deeper in the deck, and I don't have to rely on super clutch draws, but, like, it's really, really good. And it's basically a free draw 2 in the deck. Like, you don't need your extra deck a lot, even though it's a really nice resource. So you could swap this out for Pot of Prosperity, but I like Extravagance a bit better. I played 2 copies of 3 copies of Storming Mirror Force, 3 copies of Crackdown, and 3 copies of Solemn Strike. These are your best stall cards in the deck. The Storming Mirror Force, for some reason in this format, people aren't outing your back row as often. Like, turn 1, usually, or game 1, they aren't going after your back row, because they're scared of the Eldritch matchup, because Eldritch gains advantage when you send their traps to the graveyard. So, like, they're not really going for their back row that often, and they're not really scared of it, seeing that you're playing Mokey Mokey. So that's when you can spring Storming Mirror Force really easily, and it will usually stay on the field. This card's really good. Crackdown is always going to be insane. Sure, it's not super, super good, like, in general, but, because it can't, like, take stuff like Dragoon and stuff, but it's still really, really good. I was actually thinking about cutting Crackdown, or maybe cutting Ash Blossom for the Dragoon engine, but the deck, it flows seamlessly right now, so just putting a bunch of bricks in the deck aren't going to help at all. But Crackdown is still really good. Stealing your opponent's VFD so they can't continually use it. Stealing stuff like their Trident if you just don't want them to pop your stuff anymore. Although they could just change Trident to activation. Like, there's a lot of things that'll happen, but, like, still, this card's really, really good. Even though it's not exactly the best card to be playing this format. I play 3 copies of Solemn Strike. Now this card is really good this format. Your opponent's gonna special summon a ton, so that's when you set these 3, normal summon a Mokey Mokey, pass. They won't suspect anything. Like seriously, they'll be like, why the heck would this idiot summon Mokey Mokey and nothing else? But that's when you spring your strike when they summon their powerful boss monster. It's just insane. So that is it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck, I play 3 copies of Link Spider and 3 copies of Link Karibo. These cards are easy ways of getting your Mokey Mokeys off the field, so you can use them for tri-white plays, as well as the fact that they're great ways for link climbing, including going into cards like Appaloosa, Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax, and even Access Code. Like, Access Code is actually pretty easy to go into in this deck, because it doesn't need effect monsters with different names. So what you can do is you can take all your Mokey Mokeys, let's say you have 3 Mokey Mokeys on your field and a tri-white in your hand. You can link 3 of them off, all 3 of them off for these, or for 2 of these, and then you can link all 3 of them off for Nightmare Unicorn, activate tri-white, of course discarding, then you can bounce an opponent's monster, activate tri-white, special summon all 3 back, then you can use Link Karibo, or go into a Link Karibo, then you have enough monsters to go into an Access Code, and have 2 Mokey Mokeys on the field, and depending on what else you have, you can pretty easily go into some solid plays. So, Link Spider, Link Karibo, obvious choices. I play 1 Nightmare Cerberus, easy to go into and great for OTKs, for spot removal. Same with Phoenix. Unicorn is really important for your Access Code plays, because you can easily go into this card in the deck. It's actually really, really good. Play 1 copy of IP Masquerena, because like one of your worst boards is literally just IP, 1 monster, pass. Like, you can do that in this deck without batting an eye. I play 1 copy of Access Code, OTKs, and super easy to go into. Appaloosa, you can actually generically go into this at the end of your turn and just set up 4 negations. Your opponent's not going to suspect a thing. Crusadia Avermax is just an unbeatable monster. Plus it doesn't need effect monsters, it just needs 1 special summon from the extra deck. So you could just link them all off for Link Karibo, Link Spider, whatnot. I play Boral Sword for another OTK target, because we are playing Extravagance, so even if you banish some of them, you just want to have more. And then I play Decode Talker for a generic card to go into. But that is it for the deck. Best deck of the format. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anything you would change about the deck. Would you change up the stall cards? I know Crackdown isn't very good this format, but I didn't want to risk playing Judgment at all because it's too much of a life point cost, and this deck will burn through a lot of life points. Would you cut out Extravagance? Spell Striker did seem like a random thing, but it came in clutch a lot of the time. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.